right before taping, Antonio Pierce was fired as the head coach of the
Huh?
Raiders,
You don't
which
say.
we all predicted.
You don't say. What's crazy about that is, first things first, Raiders fans, you guys are complete idiots. And yeah, this will be clipped because I want all the smoke again because of what you guys came into our comment section like with your chest puffed out, thinking that you guys had everything figured out and literally had the season from hell. And to think that that Aiden O'Connell was even remotely the answer was pathetic. And on top of it, thinking that Antonio Pierce, who has never been a head coach anywhere, would be a good opportunity, him being a good position to be the head coach of an NFL organization. So let me look at some of these comments real quick for you here, Noah. I think you're set up to fail. This man just said that they don't have a great roster. LOL. Are you serious? Pierce is a leader of men. Exactly what the Raiders need. You guys will eat your words. Good one. This podcast is a joke. They said the Chargers are 100 times better than the Raiders. Oh, interesting. The Chargers are in the fucking playoffs.
That's right.
So I can go on and on and on these comments and how pathetic the Raiders fans are and how stupid you guys look. Obviously, they're keeping on Tom Telesco. I don't know if I really love that move for them, but I mean, you had Brock Bowers kind of fall into your lap and he's generational. So like, good for you. That I don't think I think anybody could have made that pick. Me and you could have made that pick. So yeah. I think that like good for Telesco, but Antonio Pierce, the writing was written on the wall when the season ended last year and you looked at this roster and how it was set up. And if you thought that they would have any real success with Antonio Pierce, who is not a guru on defense or offense, you probably could have had a pretty decent idea that he was going to get fired, which we called.
I also don't think it's a great sign for an organization when you fire a head coach middle of the season like they did. Week 9, they fired their OC, Luke Getsy. So like that was probably a sign where things weren't going well and they had to make some type of decision and figure out, okay, can we turn this around? Not really when Antonio Pierce is your head coach and you are rotating through 3 different quarterbacks that none of them deserve to be remotely close to a starter in the NFL.
Yeah, I think probably the first thing we talked about this, like, there's no tanking in the NFL. Guys on the team don't care. Coaches don't care. They're all coaching for their jobs. When Antonio Pierce won that game a few weeks ago and they were like, hey, you just lost number 1 overall pick. Antonio Pierce was like, talk to Telesco about that, like, essentially.
Yeah.
They clearly were not on the same page. Right now they sit at pick number 6. So it's really looking like every single team in front of them, the top 3, Tennessee, Cleveland, New York, it seems like they're going to be the guys to take the quarterbacks in this year's draft. There might be another one that pops up out of the blue, but I mean, as of right now, it's Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, and me and you went back and forth about like a Drew Aller potentially. Those are really the first round guys, it seems like, and unless if somebody else just like kind of pops out of the blue.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, it doesn't really seem like there is any, like, if Quinn Ewers decides to go, I mean, I could see somebody overdrafting him maybe, but that's pretty unlikely in my book. I don't really feel like he's a first round guy, and I also don't really think he's going to go out. And then, like you said, Drew Aller. But other than that, like Carson Beck announced he's going out. Stupid move on his part, but he wasn't a first round quarterback. He won't be a first round quarterback this year. So, like, there's not really any other options for Las Vegas unless they really decide that they want to trade up. They're going to have to pivot to signing somebody. But even in this class, Shedeur and Cam Ward, I don't think are worth trading up for. But we can talk about that throughout the
another
summer.
Day.
Throughout, you know what I'm saying.
Gut feeling, like with what the Raiders are going to be doing, we don't have to spend too much time on this, obviously, but what they're going to do next, I have no idea. I've obviously You have Tom Brady. I think he probably had a say in getting Antonio Pierce gone a little bit too. But I just don't know where they could go. I think there's a ton of more attractive options like out there for the top guys that we really like, and I think the public really likes, like a Vrabel, for example. Like, I think that they're probably not in the running for Vrabel, but ultimately anything could happen. But I don't know really as of right now today what what direction the Raiders will go for a coach.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see who they are gonna or who they're gonna interview. Obviously, the Antonio Pierce firing just happened. Um, I would assume they probably have somewhat of a list, but I don't think it hasn't been announced yet as of us recording. So I'll be interested to see how that goes.
White cloud.